Hey there, LEGO fans, and welcome back. Alex here. Today we're going to talk about the placement of Diagon Alley in my LEGO city. I just wasn't really happy with the placement that I had at the end of my build and review, so I decided to spend this afternoon rearranging my modulars to make them fit. So here's what I did. So I'll show you what I did with Diagon Alley first, and that is I placed it towards the back middle of the downtown area. I also elected to put the buildings back to back to save on space. That way it's just basically two smaller modulars instead of four very long buildings placed side to side. I decided to put it next to Brick Bank, which is a relatively short modular building compared to the other modulars. That seems to give it kind of a good blend with the Diagon Alley Lego sets. Now I know that Diagon Alley is supposed to be hidden from the Muggle world, but it just looks too good to go through the effort of trying to hide this thing. So for me, in my city, it's going to be white out in the open for everybody to see. Now I moved modulars all over the place. Most of them got to move, and that is going to include the two green grocers. These got moved towards the back where Assembly Square was, so these are now in the back row. I did keep half of the Birch Books Lego set, the modular. This is just the apartment part of it. Very small compared to the green grocer building, but that is where I had room for it. Detective's office lost its front row spot to City Square, so it now faces the opposite direction, but that's okay. It still has a pretty decent view of Diagon Alley. Here is Assembly Square, very proud, sitting right next to City Hall. I think it looks really good towards the front, especially with that opening in the middle and that big fountain. And you'll see towards the right, I have Birch Books right next to it. That is now very much in the front where it was in the back. And you'll also notice that I have moved the two cafe corners all the way up to the street. Before they were back by an entire plate. Moving these forward is what actually allowed me to actually have the two available spaces that eventually freed up the spots for the Diagon Alley buildings. Corner garage modular got moved across the street. It was actually right where Brick Bank is, so moved that there, and I actually kept the same road plates right next to it, so I didn't have to rip up all those tiles and put them back on again. It still has the firehouse as its neighbor, so those just kind of did a little bit of a rotation across the street, and I love having those two together because they match really well as far as their height and their facade. When I first brought Diagon Alley down here, I moved the hospital out of the way and moved it actually to the other side of Avengers Tower. But what that meant was the Shmoo Tower is right next to a very short building, and I just didn't like that abrupt drop. So the hospital is moved back to right where it belongs. It just kind of allows a good continuation of a skyscraper to a fairly large building down to the Green Grocer modulars below. I moved the Torque Tower and the Avengers Tower over a little bit towards the that Red Mike's Tower. And what that did for me is opened up a little bit of space for a small parking lot for the train station on the upper level loop. It also gave some elbow room for the airport shuttle train station right next to it. I think I ended up moving about half of all the modulars in this move. And as far as Diagon Alley goes, I know it's supposed to be an alley, not necessarily a city block the way I have it right now. So I'll continue to look for opportunities to make it an alley. But for right now, I'm feeling pretty good with the way I have it set up. As I was moving these modulars around and rearranging everything, I took the opportunity to do a lot of dusting. The downtown area is very difficult to reach some areas, and each modular itself has a lot of nooks and crannies in it that are hard to reach. So it felt good to actually get a lot of that deeper cleaning done while I was moving these things around. That's going to wrap up this rearrangement of the downtown area to accommodate Diagon Alley. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what you guys think of the new configuration, as well as the configuration and placement of Diagon Alley. Thank you so much for watching, and look forward to hearing your comments about this, and we'll have some more fun stuff again for you in the near future. As always, you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.